Madam Mayor, City Council members, let me just get right to the chase here. Your bait and switch sleight of hand today doesn't hide the fundamental reality of bankruptcy of this ordinance. It is oppressive, it's unnecessary, it assaults the beliefs and religious values of the business and church community. Religious exemption has been analyzed by top legal minds across this country, and it's full of loopholes. Okay? It will not be upheld if it's challenged. Number two, the section was taken out, ostensibly by the mayor, doesn't mean anything, because section A in that clause leaves it wide open for the restrooms to be used by a member of other genders anyway. So we're not fooled by any of this. The bottom line is, this is ill-advised. It's very clearly for one purpose only, council members, and I'm appealing to you on behalf of over 300 churches representing over 100,000 constituents in this city to do the right thing and respect and honor the beliefs of those who stood outside the city hall today at 1500.
Thank you, sir. Your time has expired.
Councilmember Cohen. Are you wrong? Councilmember Kubash.
Go ahead, continue.
Well, again, we are very concerned about the provisions of this. There are so many vague areas of the definitions of this that are open for interpretation, and they will be interpreted very loosely. And the investigative power put in the hands of a tiny group under the auspices of the mayor's office is a deep concern. It should be a deep concern to this body. There are so many questions on this ordinance that it should be brought before consideration of the people much more intently based on where it is now. So we're asking you to either vote no on this or to delay the vote so it can be considered more extensively. But right now, the bottom line is this ordinance is a direct attack against the fundamental values and freedom of the people in this community. And the numbers you're getting in your offices and calls and emails, I believe, strongly reflect that. Thank you.
Councilmember Stark.
Thank you. I know you're trying to speak quickly. What was the part that you said that was switched, that was in the ordinance?
1751B is the mayor.
The one that was pulled.
Is the one that was pulled, that's correct. Okay, section A still remains.
Section 8.
Section A, sorry, in that clause, 1751, subsection A.
Okay.
Okay, if you look at the language in that clause, it simply says public accommodations, right, broadly, do not discriminate based on these protected characteristics. That means in the actions and the services as well as the facilities, which means the restrooms. So it does not preclude men who claim to be women going into the ladies' restrooms. It's just that simple. So that was my point in pointing that out. It's just her removing subsection B does not material change one of the major issues that opens up in this ordinance.
Thank you.
Councilmember Lester.
Yes, sir. Thank you for your testimony. May I ask you a question?
Favoring opposed, motion carries.
Inasmuch as there currently are transgender persons in the community now, men to female and female to male, where would you have them go to the bathroom?
Well, sir, first of all, there are restrooms and facilities that are single-use restrooms that are
In every
available.
facility? In every facility?
Well, here's the question, fundamentally, you have to start with. And do you know the difference between transgender and transsexual?
I think I do. I'm wondering if you do.
I do. I'm afraid that most everybody doesn't. And what we have are examples all over America where men claim to be women but have not changed one thing in their anatomy.
Again, sir, I would just ask you the question. Where would you have a person who has transitioned to go to the bathroom?
Well,
If
you're
they are
asking us,
presenting themselves as a female, or if they're presenting themselves as a male, would you have them go into the bathrooms of the opposite sex?
our position, sir, is that gender confusion is not an acceptable category equal to race in a protected status legally. We should not be forced to accommodate that in every restroom in the city and put women and children at risk, subject to less than 0.3% of the
My question
population.
stands after Councilmember Riley with another motion.
I'm done, sir, but my question stands. Where would you have them go to the bathroom?
I still need a motion. I have Councilmember Christie. Is there a second? Favoring, opposed, motion carries. Councilmember Christie.
Reverend Webster, if it was possible that 17.51A was removed, would the anti-discrimination ordinance be acceptable to you?
Well, first of all, that is one of the major areas, but as we said earlier as well, when we look at the only two other areas of this ordinance, in terms of employment and housing, those are already covered under state and federal law. This becomes fundamentally irrelevant and useless, pointing out that this is what this is all about. So, no, I'm sorry. I
We
think
have no
we
further-
need to render it moot.
We have no further questions. Thank you.
Thank you.